Hey folks, you got that check engine light glowing like a Christmas tree and that pesky P0231 code staring you in the face? That's a fuel pump low voltage code, and it means your car's brain isn't happy with the juice going to the fuel pump. Don't worry, you're not alone. This is a common problem, and today, I'm gonna walk you through the top 5 causes and how to fix them yourself, saving you a whole lot of cash at the mechanic. Let's get started. Alright, the first thing we gotta check is the fuel pump itself. Now this little fella lives inside your gas tank, and its job is to push that sweet, sweet gasoline up to the engine. Over time, these pumps can wear out, get clogged up with gunk, or just plain give up the ghost. When that happens, they might not be able to draw enough power, triggering that P0231 code. Now I'm not gonna lie, replacing a fuel pump can be a real pain in the you-know-what. It's usually buried under the back seat or even part of the fuel tank itself, but hey, it's gotta be done, and I'd rather you tackle it yourself than get ripped off by some shady mechanic. If your fuel pump checks out okay, the next culprit could be those pesky wires. See, the fuel pump circuit runs through a whole mess of wires, and over time they can get chewed up by rodents, corroded, or just plain wear out. A loose connection or a break in the wire can interrupt the flow of electricity to the fuel pump, causing that low voltage situation. So grab your multimeter and start checking for continuity in those wires. You're looking for any signs of damage, breaks, or loose connections. A little electrical tape can be your best friend here. Chapter 3. Connector Chaos. Don't underestimate the power of a good connection. We're still on the hunt for electrical gremlins, and this time, we're focusing on the connectors. See, your fuel pump circuit has a bunch of connectors along the way, and if any of these little guys are loose, corroded, or just plain dirty, they can cause a voltage drop. It's like trying to run a marathon with your shoelaces untied. You're not going to get very far. So, grab some electrical contact cleaner and give those connectors a good spray and a scrub. Make sure they're nice and snug, and while you're at it, check the ground connection for the fuel pump too. A bad ground can cause all sorts of electrical headaches. Chapter 4. Relay and Fuse Fiesta, the unsung heroes of your fuel system. Alright, let's talk about relays and fuses. These little guys are like the bodyguards of your electrical system, protecting your components from power surges. The fuel pump relay, in particular, is responsible for switching the power on and off to the fuel pump. If this relay goes bad, it's like cutting the power cord to your fuel pump. Nothing's gonna happen. Same goes for the fuse. If it blows, your fuel pump is dead in the water. Luckily, relays and fuses are cheap and easy to replace. Just make sure you get the right ones for your vehicle. Chapter 5. ECM, the brain behind the operation, or maybe the problem. Alright, if you've checked everything else and you're still scratching your head, it's time to consider the big kahuna, the engine control module, or ECM for short. This is your car's brain, and like any computer, it can throw a tantrum now and then. The ECM is responsible for sending the signal to the fuel pump relay to turn on the pump. If the ECM is malfunctioning, it might not be sending the right signal or any signal at all, leading to that P0231 code. Now, diagnosing and fixing an ECM problem is a whole other can of worms, and it's usually best left to the professionals. But hey, at least you've ruled out all the other possibilities first, right? Outrow P0231 conquered, so there you have it, folks. The top 5 causes of error code P0231 and how to tackle them head-on. Remember, a little automotive know-how can go a long way in saving you time, money, and a whole lot of frustration. If you're not comfortable performing these checks, it's advisable to consult a professional mechanic. And as always, like and subscribe for more car repair tips.